guys, it's Sino and I'm back with another video, and this week I'm here with good old Kim, and Kim came to me with this really good idea of doing a pillow talks kind of series type thing, and basically it's just going to be like a really raw kind of chill video, basically the kind of things you talk about when you're at a sleepover. And yeah, so first we'll start off with like some pre-ramble, like the kind of girly things you do at a sleepover, and then we'll do our spill the tea segment, and then we'll go in and just kind of wrap things up. So let's get into it.
So are we starting with Man Crush Monday?
Yes. Who is your Man Crush Monday of like right now? Like who do you think right now is just like
Michael B. Jordan. Like,
let's be honest. I think it's like that for
weeks.
everybody right now. I think it's like that for everybody right now.
We love you too, Chadwick.
Okay, so now we're going to do this or that.
We are going to do it with cute things. So Snow, butterflies or honeybees?
I want to say butterflies, but then Kalani be making me appreciate honey lately. Just kidding with her shrine. Oh, I'm gonna have to go with honeybees because Queen Bee, Kalani, it's a woman of color thing.
Sense.
We gotta be here. Yeah, honeybee.
Typewritten or handwritten letters?
Handwritten, because I feel like that's much more cute and thoughtful.
I think for me it's typewritten.
Really?
Yeah,
wait, like typewriter? Or
yeah,
like
typewriter. Because some people's handwriting is really ugly. I'm just being serious. Road tripping in one of those cute like Volkswagen buses down the coast, or camping in the woods on a summer night? I think for me, I would choose road tripping. Cause you can. It doesn't say that you can't like camp.
Road trip to. You right. You. We love an intellectual.
Sunflowers or lavender? Okay, sunflowers are my favorite flower though.
Oh my gosh, they're my cousins too.
They're just happy flowers. I love them. But lavender is really useful when it helps me sleep, but like it isn't as pretty as a sunflower.
I'm gonna have to go with lavender because I love the smell of lavender, and purple lavender is my favorite color.
Autumn leaves or spring flowers? Autumn!
Fall. Fall is my favorite season of all time. That's where Kim and I first connected, our obsession with fall.
Fall is the superior season.
Yeah. I mean, like, spring is
The
cute.
rest of you can fall in line. Smooth jazz or lo-fi? Lo-fi. Lo-fi hip-hop has just been my thing recently. Like, I don't think I've listened to music with words for like 2 weeks. I listen to lo-fi all day. I think that concludes our this or that segment. I guess we will move into the next segment.
Spill the tea. And basically in this segment we will go through and talk about a recent problem or situation that's been going on in our lives, and then we will go in and dive into a solution for that problem. So this week's Spill the Tea is going to be on the whole concept of, you know, friendship breakups and knowing when to cut a friend off. So Kim, do you want to talk about your experience a little bit?
Okay, mine wasn't really to do with a friend, but like let's just call him friend. Cause I mean that's what we were anyway. Basically, I was friends with this guy, and he's like kind of one of those guys that like they want all the relationship benefits without being in a relationship. And he also had like some unresolved issues with like past girlfriends, and like it was just messy. It wasn't cute or anything like that. Like I was stressed out and everything, and then eventually we just like had a fight, and I was like, you know what, I don't want this. Like I know I can do better. Like I have people lined up. You're like, when I get rid of you, like there's other people I can choose from.
This is Miss Kimmy Wells.
Exactly, like take a number or something. But basically I was like, you know what, I don't want to deal with these mood swings anymore, or someone like not fully appreciating me and expecting me to like stay around after they like constantly like kick me down and whatnot. So I made the decision to be like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. But like I did it in a way that was like friendly, because I didn't want to be like rude or like anything towards him. I was just like, you know what, this isn't gonna work. And then like we just cut it off. And ever since I cut men out of my life, I now have clear skin, good grades, I'm eating healthy, and actually sleeping well at night.
We love a success story. But I'm currently going through a friendship breakup, I guess. And
there aren't enough love songs about those.
Yeah, that's what Kim and I were talking about. Like, we find that friendship breakups are definitely, not even almost, are definitely a lot harder than real breakups.
Yeah.
Because with real breakups, they're not committed to you. Not every person that you date, you're thinking, I'm gonna marry this person, I'm gonna be with this person for my whole life. But when you have a friend and you let that friend in,
like, you think, yeah, like, we're gonna be best friends forever.
Yeah. Like, you give more to them than you do, I feel like, emotionally, than you do to, like, a romantic person.
I know, for me, definitely.
Yeah,
like, I value my friendships more than romantic relationships. The thing with situations like that is that it's better if you talk it out with a person and, like, you actually, like, it's better to hear what they're thinking. If someone's silent with you and whatnot, then it's kind of dangerous, because then, like, I find for me, if I'm arguing with someone and you give me time, like, by myself, I'm gonna start overthinking everything, and then it just gets worse instead of me dealing with it, like, right away. But also, like, I have to be careful when I deal with things right away, because, like, I make, like, really rash, like, irrational decisions based on my, like, mood at the time. So if I'm really angry and I make a decision, like, I might burn a bridge that I don't really mean to burn, because, like, in that moment I was so angry, like, that's the only rational thing I could think of.
Same.
It's kind of needed, like, especially with friend breakups, if you tell the person why you're mad at them. Like, for me, like, I had a friend ghost me, like, we were best friends for 4 years, like, all high school, and she just literally, like, disappeared, and, like, to this day I still have no idea why she just disappeared. So, like, I would have preferred if she, like, actually had a conversation with me, because, like, here I am, like, a year or two later thinking, like, well, we didn't get into a fight or anything. Like, you literally just stopped texting me.
And I think it's like that with all types of breakups, even romantically, that sense of closure and having answers on why certain things happen, because then you're also able to move on and, you know, and apply what you learned from that to other relationships and things. But, like, if there's no answers or solution, in your head, one person's just like, fuck that bitch, like, fuck them, look what they did to me. The other person's just like, what did I do, though? Like,
yeah.
You know?
Because now you don't have, like, the complete story. I know, like, not all stories need closure and whatnot, but, like, it's just, like, nice to have. Because then, I guess, like, for me, too, like, it's better to have closure, because then I'm, like, then I start thinking, like, oh, what if this happened? Or, like, there's too many, like, new opportunities.
Variables, yeah.
That I start thinking of, like, the ways to, like, ignite that again. And it might not be a good decision to ignite it again.
So now we'll go into the solutions factor. So what have we learned from these situations, or what can we apply or give advice to people for these situations? So Kim talked about, like, talking it out and how that's important as well, to talk it out.
It's also good for you to, like, recognize the signs early, and, like, if you feel like someone is being toxic towards you, like, they just, like, drain everything from you, if you have other people you can talk to about it, because, like, I find for me, if I'm going through something, like, first of all, like, I hate telling people about my emotions or feelings.
Me too.
So,
Scorpios and Libras out here.
Like, I will deal with all of my problems myself. It's very important to recognize the signs, talk to people, so you don't feel like you're, like, overanalyzing anything. And, like, don't let it, like, if you can, don't let it go on for too long.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's better you get out of it sooner.
And I think also at the end of the day, you have to remember that with everything, relationships are supposed to be a stress reliever, not a stress inhibitor. So if you're in this all the time and you're always feeling stressed, you're always feeling put down, you're always worried about things, and, like, it's probably most likely time to leave, like, you know?
Yeah, like, definitely in any sort of relationship, you're gonna have fights. Like, if your best friends are agreeing with everything you do all the time, those aren't your best friends.
Those are yes mans. We don't need yes men.
Like, those are your fans. Like, it's healthy to argue once in a while, because people aren't always gonna see eye to eye with each other, but if that's how it is constantly, it's not good.
And also, like Kim was saying, like, talk to people. I think that's good. And, like, whenever I'm in a situation, it's important to talk to the right people, because I know if I'm angry or something, like I know which friend I can go to talk about certain things, because I know they're gonna hype me up because they're like the petty friend, and like, you know, when you go to a certain person for advice, you know the reaction that they're going to give you based upon your relationship with that person. So I know, like with Kim, if I'm going through a certain thing, Kim's really like good at separating herself from situations and really like realistically giving you this option, like this is how this will go down if you do this, and this is how this will go down when you do this. So I think it's important to find that person who's good at doing that. Kim's really good at that, and like I'm blessed to have Kim in my life for giving me that kind of
Thanks, no. That's the nicest thing she said to me in like a week.
And the other thing is, like, I think it's also important to like know your worth in all situations, in relationships and stuff like that. So if you're the kind of person that puts your all into relationships, like Kim saying, she puts her all into friendships, and I'm the same way, like I'm an all or nothing kind of person. I think it's important to not continue to be that person that becomes a walking doormat that gets themselves walked upon because you already have that bond with somebody. Like, it's hard to initially cut somebody off, but it's important to, like Kim said, realize the signs and know when it's time. And it's okay. You're not a bad person for doing that.
I find for me it's much easier to get rid of romantic relationships than it is for me to get rid of like a friendship.
Whereas friendships, you have memories, you have pictures, you have
like we do stuff
inside
together.
jokes, you know? There'll be things where you're used to doing that with that person, and now it's like, oh, what am I still want to do this thing, but how do I do it without that person kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
But it's also good to like step back and like take a look at yourself and be like, is like any behavior that like I exhibited, like was that like toxic, was that like hurtful to someone?
Yeah, it's, especially for me, I find that's really hard because once I get in that mindset of anger, it's really hard for me to snap back out of it and like, you know, like I kind of have to at some point like check myself and humble myself and be like, Snow, you're always right, but maybe this might be a 99.9% time and this is the 0.1% that you're wrong. And especially because my instinct is to always, like, once somebody does me wrong, like, petty mode, like, you know? And, like, it's almost like I find this sounds really bad, but I get this, like, joy out of being petty, like, you know, like, once you're ranting and stuff like that, and, like, it's all stemming from hurt, but, like, because you're so hurt by that person, you almost want them to feel that. And that's not cute, but it's what I do. And
like, I feel like everyone does that. Like, you just kind of, well, if you take it as like disrespect, so it's kind of like, oh well, they did this to me, so like this is the version of me that they're gonna get. If someone pisses me off, then like, especially like a friend, I'll like take a step back. Like, I kind of have to like analyze, okay, this is what they did, this is why I'm mad, but like I have to phrase it in a way that like I don't want to like completely hurt their feelings and like diminish them. Because
even though in the moment that's really what you want to do.
Yeah, like in the moment, like when I'm first mad, like I literally see red. Like I will think like, I have no problem cutting you off. I can find a new friend.
Snip, snip.
But then I like think back, like I guess like it's a bad thing too that I think about past memories with the person, because I'm like, but I also have to analyze, does the good outweigh the bad? Like, do I have more good times with this person and they like messed up this one time?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like important to understand like the difference between whether this is an action out of like some kind of background thing or if this is an action out of character. Because if this is an action out of character, then this is how the person is, and because it was this situation, if it's you solve this, it's going to be something else because that's how they are as a person. Versus like if this is just like some kind of background thing that caused this to happen, then like if you solve this and nip it in the butt, then like it might not happen in the future. I learned from my experience of overreacting, like how you learned from your experience of overreacting. So then I like said, like, next time a situation happens, I'm not going to do that, to sit back and like think before I go back and do a situation. But like the way that I did, I also didn't handle the situation properly either, because my solution was, let me not talk about it and just like sort it out on my own. But that involved me giving that person the silent treatment. But that doesn't help the situation either, because
the
then
other person doesn't know you're mad at them.
Exactly, they don't know what they did, and you know, and that's where it comes back down to, like Kim was saying, it's all about communication and being able to sort things in a mature way and talk things out. So I've definitely learned from this situation on how better to handle things. Don't overreact, but also don't completely underreact. Find a
Yeah.
happy middle.
You can tell people like how you're feeling, but like you don't have any control over how that person reacts.
That's so true. Because once I end up in a situation and I think things through, I really end up, you know, like having the conversation in my head, so that way I go in and like have my thoughts organized, but then I'm predicting how that person's going to react before it even happens. When you're in a relationship with somebody, you've got to feel for them, that you're able to think of how they'll react to situations, but you never know. Like, you know, it's important to be able to, you know, like honestly say something and give them the chance to honestly react to it, and not just answer like, oh, they're gonna be mad at me for this. Like, you know, like let them actually have a reaction.
Basically, just talk to people. Like if you're close to them and you have enough like of a relationship with them, let them know how you're feeling. Don't give yourself like a week to think about this, because then you start thinking about crazy shit. So give yourself maybe like 24 hours from like the point that you realize like the incident happens, or like when you realize that it's like bugging you. Don't be like 2 weeks later and like still thinking about how you're gonna approach the person.
So summarize of solutions: communication, know your worth, approach situations in a calm and orderly fashion, and know when it's okay to cut somebody off.
Yeah. Like if you have determined that person is no longer good for you, then it's okay.
Yeah,
and maybe they were there to teach you a lesson.
Don't feel bad about it, I guess, because it's a sad thing, but don't feel guilty about it. Realize that there's a point where you have to be selfish and think about yourself at some point. And that is it for this week's video. I thought this was cute, different from what I've done before.
Yeah. I'm happy I gave you the idea.
I'm glad you gave me this idea, and it was great to have Kim. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, as well as comment down below if you guys like this video. I know I haven't even edited it, but it's probably going to be a longish video. But comment down below if you guys like this video and topics that you would like if we did this again for us to talk about. And as well as follow us on all of our social media. I will have Kim's link down below and probably pop up here. Kim has started this Kimmy Talks Tumblr, which is where she basically talks about things like this and gives like tips and things like that. And she's got some cool playlists, and it should pop in.
By the time this video is up, my new post should be up, which is going to be about my morning and night routines and how you can incorporate a routine into your schedule.
Yes! So definitely check out Kim's Tumblr. If anything, out of all Kim's social media, check out her Tumblr. Listen, do it!
Very important, very productive.
Exactly. If you're like this video and you want to see future videos, don't forget to subscribe, as well as once you subscribe, click the bell so you'll turn on your post notifications so you'll be notified every time I post. Even though Kim and I had to cut some people off, it was okay.
It happens.
That's how life
We're
is.
still alive.
We didn't sweat. Don't fret. Just smile for a while, because at the end of the day, it's no big deal.